What's that movie that a holiday hit? Don't ask Alenka, she'll say I haven't seen it.
Welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast Christmas live stream. Welcome back. I'm Alenka.
And I'm Will, or welcome for the first time if you're listening to this,
Right.
Later on. And it's the first episode you've ever listened to, which it might be.
How exciting.
We're welcoming
for you.
of all people.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome to the world of not
No, I'm
knowing.
saying we're welcoming of all people, not
Oh,
you're welcome for our amazing
but also
content.
you're welcome for enjoying. No, you know what? I have been told that people have found a lot of peace when they realize that I haven't seen a lot of movies because they have encountered similar situations where you're having a conversation, someone drops a casual reference,
Mhm.
everybody in the room laughs except for you.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, plebs. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm realizing with this one camera setup, it's kind of awkward when we're just like talking away. Also, some of our decorations just fell.
We're
I
trying
tried
to
to stop them from
festive.
falling.
We're trying to be festive.
It's awkward when we're just talking away on video with a third person not saying anything right next to us,
Yeah,
because we've told this person not to speak until spoken to. But
Right. Hey.
hi.
But hello, we're also joined by Todd Donald today.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the
Thanks
show.
for coming on.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll sink in, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking. What are we talking about? We're talking about it's,
Uh-huh.
I would say it's a Christmas classic at this point.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess so. I guess enough time has passed.
it is. It definitely. I mean, it's one of those. I feel like it's so. I totally legally got like 100 of the greatest Christmas movies that I could just like watch
Legally, he says.
legally. Just like the Christmas classics, and this is included in that Christmas classic
Really?
list.
Okay.
And I was like, really? And you when I think about it, yeah, if I'm thinking about, there's obviously like Miracle that, we just talked about, Miracle on
Mhm.
34th Street.
Right.
But then on the other end, there's these movies like Christmas with the Cranks or like Deck the Halls, these kind of B comedy movies that are now just ingrained as Christmas classics. And I think this is one of them.
I saw Deck the Halls for the first time the other day, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, why is it on the list?
It's okay.
Okay.
Like, why did it get made?
Why did it get made?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your
Unfamiliar.
daddy? Really? That happened?
Oh yeah, that's the
Ah,
If you've seen Deck the Halls.
I
Yeah.
have not. Shocking.
The
I
answer
know.
is you, Matthew Broderick, who said yes to this role.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
god. So yeah, what are we talking about?
Bad Santa,
Bad
baby.
Santa, Bad
Which,
Santa.
I mean, there are people using social media now who were born after it came out, and I get why they'd be like,
Whoa.
oh, this is before my time. Maybe it's a classic.
That's-
I was in college when it
Whoa.
came out, and, for 2003, it was raunchy, but not necessarily problematic yet.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not yet. It is pretty it's pretty out there now. Though like lots of off lines that come and go.
Mm.
Right.
But for the most part, just one of those, just a raunchy, let's just make Santa the most debauched person ever.
The opposite of what he really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What a way.
Let's make a
What
Santa, I should say.
Right.
I think it's safe to say that this movie would not get made now.
No, probably not. Not in the same way, though. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things in it that you could, it's totally free to fly and I think is still funny,
Right.
but like other things are definitely, you're like, no, that's just
Right.
horrible.
Right.
But yeah. When did you said you saw it in college?
Right. So
What did you like about it in college?
to be honest, like at first, didn't like it.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't see the humor in it yet. Because what was funny to me then was like, I'd just seen School of Rock, and other stuff that wasn't so dark. Like, because Bad Santa's kind of dark in a way, and so I didn't get the subtle dark humor yet. And but later I found it really funny, and now I have this weird, complicated relationship where I think it's hilarious, but also like just so couldn't get made today.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I think we all have those
You're like,
movies.
I want to love it, but I should hate myself
I mean,
for
yeah.
liking it.
Alenka is an avid Family Guy watcher,
Right.
and it still is made today.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
We love it. That being said, I did switch to Bob's Burgers recently, and it's so much more wholesome. So I feel like
That's
maybe I'm
true.
I'm transitioning into a new phase of life where
Yeah.
I appreciate, adult cartoons still that are like obviously made for adults, but I want them to just be, I want them to be a little bit more wholesome,
Mhm.
still centered around a family.
Oh,
Thanks. It's Christmas.
Well, yeah. We've talked a little bit about it. What do you think this movie is about, Alenka?
I mean, okay, so it's obviously going to be about. I think it's going to be about like a similar to Miracle on 34th Street. It's going to be about a Santa who is like, maybe he's not a mall Santa, but he is a. What was that? It's distracting. It's fine. Sorry, registering after the fact.
All good.
So he's going to be one of those Santas. This is actually one of those Santas that rings the bell and collects the money.
Okay.
And so he's like a Santa in the public eye. Can you imagine if I gave the exact same like story as what I did for the other
it's
Miracle
like
on
He
Miracle
makes
on 34th
sandwiches.
Street.
yeah, he makes sandwiches. So, but like he is the drunk public eye Santa,
Mm.
and part of me wants to say he's still not like real Santa. I don't know why. Like I just assume that this version of Santa is. There will be no real Santa in this. This will be like a fake Santa, obviously, someone who's paid to be Santa during the holidays, and he is just like a partier. He smokes, he whatever. I want to say he's Santa on spring break. And that's the events. I can't imagine the obvious conflict, of course, like tarnishing the image of a beloved human magical man. I couldn't really imagine what else the possible drama could be.
He's just a hard
just
rocking Santa, and that's the
chaos.
whole movie.
No, there's got to be something. You're right. I know.
Like ZZ Top plays and he's got sunglasses
Yeah.
on. I'm a bad Santa.
Yeah, like I don't
Coming to
know.
town.
I don't know. Movies like these, I'm kind of thinking of it similarly to how I'm picture like Neighbors when we're talking like raunchy whatever.
Right.
So like the conflict, the main conflict is going to be like evident, I think, throughout the whole thing, but reach some sort of climax at some point, and then I'm sure he will not change his ways.
Like all movies. Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up, Will.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm not articulate enough.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know.
That he's a bad Santa. He's
Yeah.
the opposite of what
It's not a
Santa
ton
should
of
be.
guesswork.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like a mediocre Santa or someone who's trying and just not getting it right. Just full on with the bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was deceived because I'm worried that I'm going to go too far into the movie, but I just remember when I saw previews for it, I thought that the essence of the movie was that we were witnessing a mall Santa
Right.
being raunchy. Meanwhile, that may or may not end
Uh-huh.
up being maybe just 10% of what you're getting.
Okay.
So the marketing and the movie title may be a little bit more misleading
Gotcha.
than
Yeah.
And I think that's all I know of this movie is potentially like any trailers that I would have seen. In 2003, did
Yeah.
you say? So how old was I? 2003, really?
Ooh.
Why does it feel like it's more recent than that? How many years
Probably
ago
because
was that?
people still fucking
Yeah.
love
What,
to watch
11,
this movie.
12 years ago? Is that the idea? That's absurd. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
that's almost 2 decades ago.
I
Yeah.
feel extremely
It's
old.
almost like
Weird.
18 years ago.
Cool,
Yeah.
I guess.
So
This
I'll be
can't be right.
when I watched this recently for this episode, I had watched this movie before, probably like, one of those movies where you watched and then maybe years later watched again at Christmas time with someone.
Sure.
Anyway,
Some
totally forgot like what his whole deal is, which we'll get into, but what the whole what his thing is in the movie. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like what he does. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what this movie is really about. I forgot
Right.
about that.
Hmm.
I also was like, yeah, he's just like the drunk, shitty Santa. That's it.
That's trying to get his family back.
It's like the top of 3 layers too.
It is, yeah.
Huh.
because again, how like we'll go over the course of the movie as we go, right? So I don't want to. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'll jump. So,
But for our viewers who have seen it, they know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking
You
about.
know.
A-Tex.
so stop watching. Just
No, don't stop.
Yeah. Well, as always,
Right.
As always, and also for future, maybe depends. We have a special guest with us.
Oh yeah.
Who's here totally for real in person all the time.
He's here.
And why don't you say hello to the folks out home, Zach?
Maybe like
Come on.
100. 1 to 200.
Great.
That's
classic.
great. Thank you. Thank
Classic
you.
Zach.
It's a classic Zach move.
Yeah.
Zach couldn't make it again.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be here next month.
Who knows?
Who knows? Let's see.
The busy boy.
So, well, let's move on to the drink portion.
Yes.
And we all want to know what I made for this.
Yep.
Todd, you're going to be real happy you decided not to take this drink. This drink is entitled, kids close your ears, Fuck Me Santa.
Oh no, I'm so scared.
And it
Love it.
incorporates the 3 Bs, as they say in the movie, later in the end of the movie.
Okay.
Not these particular 3 Bs, but these 3 Bs are
Oh.
beer, booze, and bitters.
Okay.
So this drink has about half a can of Pabst. It has, for me, I put 2 shots of rum,
He's sick.
but you can use any sort of alcohol that you want.
Mhm.
It's just about being debauched. And then I filled the rest of that up with some eggnog to make it festive.
Oat nog.
Oat nog for us here.
Because we're sensitive.
We like the oat nog. Very delicious, by the way. Get some oat nog in your belly.
It is really good.
And then I topped that with some pear bitters.
Mhm.
You can find some other bitters. These bitters actually were created by our Zach. So thanks, Zach.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach.
I agree, actually, 100%.
Yeah, of course you do. You made them.
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, you made them.
The
Of course
words of
you-
gratitude. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks, Zach, for the pear bitters. Pears, partridge in a pear tree, kind of holiday-ish. So
Sure.
let's take a drink of
So
this.
yeah, no. That being said, so I did already have a sip, and mine's actually quite good. And I am gonna tell you, I'm not going to drink anymore though. Not because it actually is kind of good.
It's up.
I actually do kind of like it. I have this weird thing though. Sometimes when I try new foods, my brain convinces me that I might be allergic, and I
Oh,
don't
okay.
want to freak out halfway through this
Right.
recording.
Wait,
so-
what's the new for you?
I don't know. My brain does it for literally any food.
Oh,
so
okay.
sometimes it could be like
Have you had oat nog before?
I have.
Okay, okay.
I've literally had this experience when I've been eating almonds before, and I
All
eat
right.
almonds like every day. So
then
it's just
then I will drink it for you.
anxiety will get you.
Bum, bum, bum.
I hate it.
It's okay.
It's actually good.
The worst thing about it though is that the nog mixed with like the carbonation of the beer.
I like it.
I don't like that.
Oh no, I actually like
You
it.
like that
Yeah,
part. Okay.
I think and I think it works because of the oat nog. I actually would be drinking more of it if I wasn't so nervous of having anaphylactic shock,
All right.
or
then
for some reason.
no worries.
it wouldn't happen, but
I will drink this.
just in case.
I also wanted it to make look kind
tastes
of
good.
like well, I wanted it on my beard. I wanted to look like maybe I
No,
was
that looks
puking
gross.
because
Oh,
this is very much what that Santa does a lot. He very much soils
This
himself
sounds-
the whole movie.
dumb. This sounds dumb.
Oh, well, we're about to get into it.
Okay.
Todd,
I'm sorry.
please tell us, how does this movie start?
Oh crap! Opening scene, I believe. there's a exterior shot of I can't.
Yeah,
It starts off with the Russian waltz playing and
Yeah,
opening
yeah.
Okay.
credits. Yeah. Well, just interject if you need to correct anything because I didn't make notes.
No worries.
we are in a city that's not Phoenix yet.
Not Phoenix yet.
We're in the
Okay,
current
yeah.
city that Willie, who is the main character's name, Billy Bob Thornton plays Willie.
Ah.
Willie. They didn't go too far for that stretch, but
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And his associate.
yeah. Well, the opening is actually a bar. We see it. It's actually kind of a fun opening to establish. Oh, this is what this movie is about.
right.
Mm.
It's the Russian waltz, and it's kind of like it's nighttime. They go into this bar. And everyone's having a good old grand
What's the
holiday
Russian
time.
waltz? Like, how does this
Oh
sound?
fuck! How does that go?
It's an Eyes Wide Shut too. It's like dun, 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 na, 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 dun, 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 and it's like a waltz.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
just a classic.
I'm not a music-
piece.
It's like
It's
a.
played
I'm
at
not an
Christmas sometimes.
awesome-
Quite a bit. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really mellow. It's a wind
Yeah.
instrument playing the lead.
So it zooms in through this bar. People are having a good time, and we see Billy Bob Thornton dressed as Santa,
Yeah.
unshaven,
bar.
sitting at the bar. He's like, "Can I get a
Unshaved?
drink?" Well, just
Oh, like he
5
has.
o'clock shadow everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets 2 shots of some dark alcohol, mid dark, like rum, or
Okay.
Yeah.
probably
An
whiskey,
amber.
an amber alcohol.
Right.
And and then it's him stepping outside of the bar, like the back alley exit,
Uh-huh.
and then he leans up against the wall and just spews
Yeah.
chunks on
Ah.
the ground.
And up through that till this point, he in a narration that happens at whatever point after the movie takes place, he basically fleshes out his character profile,
Okay.
being a history of abuse, bad luck situations,
Like
divorces,
he's saying this.
injuries,
as a voice-
wartime.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
he outlines his misery and
Mhm.
why life is worthless and why he doesn't give a shit
Damn.
about anything he does or says,
Damn.
Yeah.
which basically preludes what's to come.
Oh,
everybody.
I'm so
Yeah.
sad already
is,
for
yeah.
this guy for
Yeah.
some reason.
And so now we kind of see what the whole deal is, and we're at like we see like a kid come into the mall, like up the escalator, and see Santa's village like set up, and it's like, oh, but then we see like Billy Bob Thornton just like sitting there, just so done with life.
Sure. Yeah.
And his assistant, who's a little person, he's in so much. This guy, I don't know the actor.
He was in Me, Myself, and Irene
Yeah.
as the guy who claims Jim Carrey's partner.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
I think I've seen that a long time ago. I'm trying to remember. as
Very,
I'm
very
just-
funny guy, but
Yeah.
he's a little person. He plays like the elf, like an elf
Sure.
assistant in this Santa village.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, immediately he's just like, what the fuck, kid, get off my knee. Like he's just super grumpy.
Uh huh.
I think he's also drinking, like
How is
sneaking
he
drinks.
employed? Like, I'm so confused. How would they
I
not
mean,
know immediately?
They skip over that a little bit.
Okay.
Or approach it later.
They approach it
Sure.
later. For this scene, this is like Christmas and wherever they are. I don't think we actually know where they are. I think it's generic wherever they are.
Generic America.
Yeah, generic America.
Generica.
Generica.
Yeah. And he like, he's shitty to all the kids.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, like after the kids, he pisses himself. He literally, like, we see piss like go down on the carpet.
This is so
And we're
kinda
like-
sad.
And the thing is, you're watching, you're like, oh shit, some kid's pissing on him. And then it comes up and
Yeah.
he just pissed himself. He didn't care.
That's
To really
It's
flesh
very
out the
sad.
point that he gives no shits.
right.
He pisses
Oh,
himself
Wow.
on the job in public.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
that's depressing.
It's when describing, like
Yeah.
you're supposed to watch this movie, like, oh my god, this
Right.
the laughter for Billy Bob. But just describing it, it's
Yeah,
like, oh,
no,
this
it
is the
sounds
most
so-
horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say
Depressing.
that any of the times that I've watched it, I've thought, like, I can't wait to describe this to someone beat to beat. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So then, what happens next? This is the big this is the reveal that I forgot about.
Right. Well, we find out what the whole being Santa Claus thing was all about because his associate, the elf, what's his name? His character's name?
All right, you keep talking.
That's my phone.
That's your phone.
Do you want me to look?
Yes.
Here,
It-
continue.
we go one level deeper to find out that this not so good Santa and his
Fine.
associate are playing a long con because
Ah,
we find his associate still in the mall after it closes.
okay.
He opens up the back door for Billy Bob Thornton to come in, and they essentially take everything they can from that department store. Willie's thing, the only reason he's involved, obviously other than the prizes, is that he has a talent. One of the only good things his father did for him outside of punching him in the back of the head and putting out cigarettes in his arm.
Oh no.
Taught him how to crack a safe, babies.
Oh,
Oh,
So he's a
Yeah.
good
Crack a
safe
safe.
cracker.
Yeah.
So
Also, it's Tony Cox is the actor's name, and
Nice.
The character?
it's Marcus is
Marcus.
the character.
Marcus.
It's
Okay.
the little person.
Marcus
Okay.
gets the shit. Willie cracks the safe.
Mhm.
They get away with Marcus's partner, who's the driver.
Yeah, and because
Girl.
Marcus gets the shit, but most of the shit is just like a
Loafers.
list that his partner makes,
Yeah.
because she goes to
Uh-huh.
the mall and looks at everything she wants and writes a list down for him
Okay.
to get. Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they get away, and that's their whole gig. That's why.
Okay,
And that's the thing
gotcha.
I totally forgot about the movie.
There's
I
the
was like,
conflict.
oh yeah, that's why. That's the whole thing.
That's the big problem.
They're robbers.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cut
I
to,
like them now.
Yeah, cut to Florida 11 months later. Classic wake up scene.
Okay.
Billy Bob wakes up in a hotel and smashes his alarm clock, throws it against the wall, throws 5 beer bottles against the
Nice.
wall, telling it, go fuck itself, fuck you, fuck you.
Right. Right.
Because he
right.
doesn't want to know that Christmas time is approaching, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
pretty
He-
much. Oh yeah, because the radio alarm goes off, and it's like
It's a
Christmas
holly
music.
jolly
Yeah.
Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he was like done with it. He was done with the whole gig. He
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
even though he was depressed, didn't give a crap about anything. I think he thought that he was at least good enough to get out of that racket,
Mm.
that he just wanted to chill and drink in Miami or whatever.
Mhm.
And he said, like, I'm done. And Marcus just as to not make an agreement, but end the conversation. Whatever, Willie. You know, when I call you next December, if I call you, you'll be so happy to hear from me. You'll be
Right.
something derogatory. Probably it's Bad Santa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wake up in Florida.
Yeah. And cut to a scene where he's watching a bunch of ladies play volleyball, and it's cut to their
Class.
asses, and it's classic. He's just like sitting there. Billy Bob style, which is not like lecherous. His legs are folded and he's almost got like a crossword going on or something. It's kind of like
Ho hum,
Weird.
just staring at ladies.
which is
Yeah.
which is the other thing is like the most unbelievable part of this whole movie is that he fucks the whole movie, like
Oh.
many different
Right.
people.
He's got appetites.
Classic.
But the fact that like someone would, because
Right.
he's so like, it's just like, look at this guy's like, oh my god, this guy is a pedophile. Like he's
Uh,
just so, and he probably smells of like
right.
liquor
Vomit.
all the time,
Piss.
vomit. Oh, he pisses himself, doesn't change.
That's so gross.
but
Like
that's
for
the-
sanitary reasons, like girls, take care of yourselves.
exactly.
Have some fucking
I know.
self-worth.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much everything outside of when he's a Santa drives home the point of, you know, how bad of a Santa he is when he gets back in that suit in a
Uh-huh.
mall.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Oh.
So they come back together
In Phoenix.
in
I do remember
Phoenix.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
This is just a couple days after, or
This is it. This is in the following year
Got
in
you. Okay.
December.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like, pack your shit, Willie. Phoenix.
Phoenix,
We're
baby.
in Phoenix. Yeah, and they go to this mall. And John Ritter, rest in peace, is the mall manager.
Mm.
And he's like how John Ritter is in like all movies, just so happy-go-lucky, but very he's like a Ned Flanders type. Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's
Yeah.
he's afraid to offend people to a fault.
Yeah. Where he spells out swear words.
Yeah.
And this movie is
Adorable.
not afraid of saying swear words. So
Right.
That's what's funny about it.
Aw, little sweetie.
So, Billy Bob is already like hungover and drunk probably while they're walking into the mall, dressed up in the Elf and the Santa Claus uniform. And the previous Santa Claus is being fired, and I'm trying to remember why he's
Okay.
being fired for.
I think he was being fired because they offered him a discount and Willie came with his own and he uses the M word.
he says he uses the M word for a little person.
Oh, okay,
and
gotcha,
then the
yeah.
whole thing's like, and then there's a whole running joke of like, is that what they like to be called? Did they like to be called that word? And then there's a security officer, like the head of security, Bernie Mac.
Brilliant in this movie.
He's
by the
really
way.
good at it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He says like little people. They like to be called little people.
Mhm.
So that's a whole little bit there. And so they talk to the manager, but what does he say? He says, Billy Bob Thornton says, like, what'd you say about my fuck stick?
Yeah.
Like, you think my junk doesn't work?
Well,
You think my dick doesn't work?
What?
Like he's trying to address the two of them and Billy Bob Thornton starts staring at a lady's ass who's walking by.
Mm.
And then he says, John Ritter says something about performance. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
performance? What do you mean? Talking about my junk?
Uh-huh.
So I can't perform.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What do you mean your junk, sir? My fuck stick.
Oh God. Jesus.
Yeah.
He's just like that guy at the bar
Yeah.
who
Uh-huh.
who doesn't give a shit and will like ruin everyone's night on a
Right.
dime.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love him.
And so, I mean, it's funny, but from that point on, for the rest of the movie is just like posing as Santa. There's obviously a lot more we're going to get into, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Right.
like they're said they don't like. It's not like the same night they like rob the place. They do the whole gig for like the whole season,
Right.
Uh-huh.
To like case the joint, make sure they know exactly of everything.
Right.
And on on basically Christmas Eve, like they
Right.
rob the joint.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be Christmas Eve
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
It's their Christmas
Even though
bonus.
Boxing Day deals and sales are probably crazy, so why not wait till New Year's?
Right. Well,
That's what I
because
would
maybe
do.
they don't need a
Because they
Santa.
don't need the sales.
Oh, they don't need the Santa.
They need
that's
the
why,
money
yeah.
that's accrued up until the point of
up until
yeah.
Santa, yeah, because they
Ah.
at that point they are out of the job. Yeah.
Mm.
And we figured that out. Like the movie doesn't give us that. We're
No, no.
really clever audience members. Like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
blood from a stone.
This is for only the cleverest of audience members.
Right.
This movie.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, they do the whole Santa gig. He's a terrible, shitty Santa who is drinking and just like literally lighting up a smoke like secretly as between
Yeah.
kids.
Right.
One kid who's eating an ice cream cone spits chocolate ice cream all over his
Just
face.
all over his face.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's one kid who sits and very cutely says, "I want a Fraggle Stick car." What? Fraggle Stick car. Yeah, I heard you. Fraggle Stick car. Get lost.
He's like, what the fuck is that? And that's what I said. I was like, what the fuck is a
Yeah.
Fraggle Stick car?
I've never heard of that.
Like Fraggle Rock.
I guess
stick
that's what I Fraggle.
car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No sense.
Kid can dream.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's kind of what happens. But there's a point where John Ritter goes to the head security who we meet is Bernie Mac and is just like, from his first interaction with this Santa Claus, he's like, we need to keep an eye on this guy. Like, I don't know, something's weird, but he's not done anything fireable yet. So,
Sure.
but just keep an eye on him, sort of
Mhm.
thing.
Okay.
So they're wary of him already, but there's one point he's at a bar, and this is where we're introduced to the love interest in this movie.
Absurd.
Yeah,
Right.
He's at a bar drinking and giving no vibes of like flirtatious or anything. The bartender is just like pouring him drinks and flirting with him.
Okay.
Played by, I forget the actress's name, but she
Garbage.
plays
Lauren Graham
Lauren Graham
in her first role as a
from
human being.
Gilmore Girls from Gilmore Girls, the
Who?
mom from Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Oh,
In her first role as someone who talks like a human being. Talks.
nice.
And she like flirts with him, pours him shots, and then we cut to his car where they're having sex and she screams "fuck me, Santa" over and over
Ah.
again.
Well,
Gotcha.
the lead into that too, I should point out, is he's like, "I only do this once a year," or something like that. He's like, he's downplaying her asking him about being a Santa, and he's like, "I'm an eating, drinking, shitting, fucking Santa Claus," and she goes, "Prove it." Cut to
Aha.
Fuck me, Santa.
Fuck.
Gotcha.
And which we then reveal that she has like a Santa fetish almost.
Right.
She said, which I guess
She'd
she
have to.
ties back to like
Childhood.
her
Right.
parents didn't let her see Santa or didn't celebrate.
Right.
No, she was Jewish, so they didn't celebrate Christmas. So Christmas was like this forbidden thing for her,
Ah.
which
Right.
then turned into like a naughty forbidden thing. So that's why she
Cute.
wants to fuck Santa.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
So they're
which is
now-
still more human than her character on Gilmore.
Gilmore Girls.
So they're
dialogue.
now
With dialogue.
kind of a thing. She will show up
Okay.
Right.
semi often throughout the movie,
Gross.
mostly to have sex with him
Right.
while she says "fuck me, Santa."
Okay.
Another thing that Willie likes to do when bored and depressed and drunk is he will take keys, find the car it belongs to,
No way.
go to the house that the owner of the car belongs to, and take what he can.
That's so
Um,
creepy.
But this is a reference to something earlier in the movie because when do we meet the kid?
Oh,
Thurman.
God. Okay, so I don't want to reveal his name yet. I guess you just said, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There is this kid I think it's that first scene, or it's like his second day on the job or whatever.
Right.
We see this. We see the kid get off the bus. He's a chubby, redheaded kid, Canadian actor.
Nice.
He
He's got a bit of an afro too.
got an afro,
Cool.
like redheaded afro.
Like
he's
it.
also just like caked snot,
Yep.
snot all over his face.
Not
Walks
so
by
cute.
these like teenagers who like make fun of him, call him the R word. I mean, Billy Bob Thornton calls him the R word. So you know, everyone's taking it, but he gets on Billy Bob Thornton's lap
Baby boy.
and he doesn't say anything. And Billy Bob Thornton calls him a mongoloid.
Yeah.
Sweet baby boy.
Yeah, he's a nice little kid. He's very, very
Yeah.
nice.
See, in 2003, the R word was like Joe,
Oh,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
It was
but
very, very common.
I mean, it was never okay,
I can't.
but in a movie,
Yeah.
to be heard in a movie
Oh,
was
yeah.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
he just
Um,
said so and so.
Yeah.
Right.
So he sits on a lap, and I think he's like, he tries to like touch the beard, like the beard's not real. And it's like, of course, it's not fucking real, kid. And then I don't know, he like sends him away, but he sticks around. He keeps like
Yeah.
watching Santa.
He's
Right.
he's staking out Santa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I'm rooting for this kid.
yeah, and so I think, and then the bar scene, he fucks the lady, right?
Right.
He fucks Lorelai
Yes.
Gilmore, and then he
He gets accosted by one of the guys from Office Space who's playing.
the guy from Office Space.
Yeah.
And also, this is a weird scene that comes out of nowhere
Yeah.
because the guy was in the bar and then you see him looking at him at some point, and the guy just goes up like, "I'm not gay, you're gay," but like nothing, like there was no indication that anything was supposed to happen.
Yeah. He just giving him the stink eye for no reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he like, I don't know, he's like attacks them while saying like the F word, like for gay
Yeah.
people.
Elf fucker.
Yeah,
something like
elf fucker. He like, and then I don't know, tries to like fuck him. I don't even know. It's weird. He like turns him around and is like, and then the boy, the redheaded boy, comes out over and is like, "Stop attacking Santa!"
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And then the kid's like, "What the?" And then he runs off, and Billy Bob is just like, "What the fuck are you doing here, kid?" So he gives him a ride home, and he's like, "This is the only time I'm doing this, okay?"
Sure.
And then they pull up to this very nice house, and and I think the kid says like, "Oh, you know, it's just me." Or no, he doesn't even say anything yet at this point, right?
Uh-huh.
Or-
Well, no, he's quizzing him about the North Pole
Oh,
and
yeah,
the reindeer, and you know, to a degree that would garner a response from Billy Bob Thornton, like, because Jesus, are you fucking with me?
Right.
And he, you know, he's got an endless list of questions for Santa
Uh-huh.
Claus. But when they get home, we find out his only legal guardian person looking after him is his grandma, sort of.
Probably has like Alzheimer's or something.
Yeah,
Played by Cloris Leachman.
Yes.
Yeah.
wonderfully
Who dat?
by
Yeah. She was in the Golden Girls.
Uh-huh.
Right?
every Mel
Yeah.
Brooks movie, pretty much.
Yeah. And
Good.
she's very hilarious. But she's just like basically unconscious in the living room watching TV all day. And but Billy Bob enters with like a ski mask on because he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna rob everything from this place."
Oh my god.
Which he proceeds to kind of do, right? Doesn't he? Or yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But her knack for fixing some sandwiches or offering to is his
So sandwiches are in this movie.
Sandwiches are in
Lots.
this movie, yeah.
and tostadas even.
Toast, yeah. He always like, yeah, the boy's always like, "Can I get any? Can I fix you a sandwich?"
But
To the point where Billy Bob's like, "Stop! Why are you always offering to fix me a sandwich?"
Let him.
but the way her characters and the way Cloris Leachman expertly plays her in every character is like she's kind of like a broken down robot that only has one function left. Which is like, "Hey, good to see you. I'll fix you some sandwiches." And like that's the one recording left in the robot that can still play.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
really sweet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am having weird feelings for this movie.
For
It's
this
so
boy.
odd. Yeah, no, this boy's
It's not
great.
happy go lucky for
Yeah.
sure. but
Mm,
it's about finding humor in the darkness. I
right,
guess.
right.
And then I think like there's a scene again where he's walking, where the John Ritter, the mall manager, is like walking by the Big and Tall store and hears audible sex noises.
Ah,
Mhm.
And like walks in and like can hear through the changing room that the Billy Bob is having sex with a woman in there, and
Huh.
but they're having sex, and then he just says, "You ain't gonna shit right for a week."
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ew.
Which is
A quote further enhanced by John Ritter's retelling
oh yeah, you go
to Bernie Mac.
It's great.
Well, he's like,
Ah.
and I heard what sounded like sex noises, and I believe he said, "You're not gonna shit right for a week."
Oh.
But
So
Bernie Mac's like, well, you know, you
Man's a
can't-
sexual
you can't-
being.
Yeah, can't fire a man for having sex.
What the hell?
be the end of the human
course
race.
You can. Of course you can, though. You can absolutely do that.
yeah, yes, I just don't think that someone
It's a
banging
different
large women in the
time.
change room. Yeah, and I believe that's sort of the shoe that drops where they may or may not get fired.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because there's another scene where Marcus like goes to like the arcade or walks by the arcade in the mall, and like
Right.
Billy Bob is like, and again, kind of now horrible. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
do this anymore.
This
But he's
scene,
He's like kind of dry humping like a girl while showing her how to play the arcade, but
Because
the
you
girl
have to
is
thrust.
very clearly probably like under 18. The actor is probably over 18, but the idea is that
Right.
this is supposed to be like probably a 17-year-old.
Okay.
And so Marcus is just like, you're going to get us fucking fired. Like, I thought you were just doing the big and tall woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
to which Billy Bob Thornton responds,
Not even fired, but like also in jail.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. You're going to get us caught too, like in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
What, you shat me out of your fucking womb? You're my mom now.
Right.
Tell me what to do.
Wow.
Also, he forgets
Great.
the shit that he flings at Marcus. So he'll say the same thing the next day. It's like,
Ah,
yeah,
Yeah. The same like little person jokes to Marcus. All the time.
yeah.
sweet.
What are you, my therapist, sawed off fucking Freud?
Oh my god.
So there's a point, and I'm trying to remember, do we ever Billy Bob like shows up back to his motel, but the door's open.
Oh,
Mm.
right.
Well, actually there's a funny scene with the like amazing what's that, Octavia Spencer,
Mm.
Oscar winner Octavia Spencer plays like a prostitute. He pulls up,
Yeah.
and he sees like lights on in his room, and he goes like, oh, like Daisy, I don't know, I think that's her name or something.
Right.
And she goes like, oh, I'm not messing with you. I haven't shit right for a week.
Last-
Bring that line
last
back.
time
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I said, no, just come. I need to
But
talk to you.
what's
Yeah.
crazy is Octavia Spencer, who was a mainstay in these kind of comedies early
Right.
on, but now she's like an Oscar winner.
Huh.
So, but yeah, someone looks like a cop was like looking through his room.
Okay.
Did I miss a scene, or do we know who's looking through his room, or we don't know at all?
No, he asks her,
Yeah.
and she says it might be the cops.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he calls Marcus from a nearby payphone, and Marcus asks him, "Do you have anything in there that's related to what we do?"
Mhm.
He said, "No, just some clothes and shit." And then he's like, "All right, we'll just sack up somewhere for a while."
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he goes to the boy's house with the grandma, and he just stays there. He lives there for the rest of the time.
Okay.
In this really nice house. It's a really nice.
With the only fee of answering questions about the North Pole.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that
And
bad.
at this point, I think, I don't know if you said it, but the boy said his father is off like traveling in the mountains.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Vague.
been told. Yeah.
Okay.
Very,
So-
Some
Aw.
reference to a talking walnut that keeps happening too.
oh, yeah.
What?
So,
Because his mom's up in heaven with something and the talking walnut.
The talking-
Oh, baby boy.
yeah, he's not having a good time.
He's very sweet though.
Baby
Yeah.
boy.
Even the snot does not detract from how cute this kid
no,
is.
it's always just cake snot
And-
under his nose.
And by the way, what's the scene count on this movie, by the way, too? Because to describe it to someone, I'm watching it and I'm like, there's 11,000 scenes in this movie.
Oh, yeah. It's all little mini scenes that keep going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But like 4 different sets. Mall, the
Uh-huh.
house.
Yeah. And they're all full of
sometimes the
information.
bar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's
Right.
a lot of random facts that happen.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, he goes back to that house and there. Also, when he does phone Marcus, Marcus is like massaging his, girlfriend, wife's feet or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And it just like worships her, essentially. And then, so that's like a little tidbit on his character because they kind of bring it up later.
Right.
Well, the fact that half the stuff he takes is basically because
Right.
there's scenes where there's
He's
scenes
simping.
throughout later, like layered throughout, where she's literally in stores, like looking at things and writing them down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then like people are always come like, oh, can I help you? I'm like, no, just looking.
Just
Right.
looking.
Yeah.
I don't know if it matters where this scene is placed, but we're given a glimpse into the Bernie Mac character in the video game shop in the mall, because one of the kids from Malcolm in the Middle is a kid shopping in the store looking at video games, and Bernie Mac comes up to him. I don't even care what his character's name is in the movie anymore, but he approaches him because obviously he looks at the surveillance footage. He knows this kid has something underneath, and without any, I don't know if he has the right to rifle through clothes, but he finds the video game, gives him a tirade, and takes his MP3 player.
Oh.
So we know now that he's ruthless, takes his job seriously,
Right.
and isn't afraid to break the rules.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
Okay.
every like detective in a cop movie.
Right.
Afraid to break the rules.
So true. So true.
So yeah, so there's that. I guess there's more fuck me Santas in the hot tub in the house.
Yep.
And
Really?
Lorelai Gilmore is up there and they're connecting. They're having moments together.
Yeah. She likes him no matter how bad he keeps telling her
Oh, yeah.
he is.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
literally he's like they're midst of foreplay and the boy walks in and is
Hmm.
just like, oh no, let's tell this scene later because there's a previous scene to this that we'll
Right.
talk about.
Okay.
There's more fuck me Santa to come.
Yeah. Don't worry. There's more fuck me Santa.
Okay.
So it's I'm trying to remember one of the big, like it kind of glosses over. There's a lot of little random shit
Yep.
that happens. Oh, what happens is Bernie Mac does some more investigation. This is kind of the major
Yeah.
like conflict.
Right.
He does some more investigating and he finds out, because to get their paychecks and stuff, they have to provide an address or whatever.
Okay.
So like
Uh-huh.
Billy Bob provides this new address that he's staying at,
Okay.
and he finds out that like he's not the owner of the home, and the owner of the home is actually this guy, something Merman.
Right.
His last name, Mr. Merman, whatever.
Okay.
And he finds him, and Mr. Merman is in jail. So this is the boy's father. He's not in the mountains. He's just in jail for like tax fraud or some shit like
Darn.
that, corporate greed.
For the
And he
techies,
lives- yeah. Oh yeah.
for the Trekkies out there, he's Neelix from Voyager. Just thought I'd point that out.
Now-
I did recognize the actor for sure, but not from Trek. Don't.
Let's forget I said that. Edit it out.
And so he goes to jail. Bernie Mac goes to jail and says, do you have any house guests? And he's like, house guests. And then Bernie Mac just goes, thank you, Mr. Merman.
Yeah.
So now he
Wow.
knows that like this guy's basically just probably like a thief. And he
Okay.
confronts the two of them. He confronts them.
Yeah.
He like literally comes up to the display and of the Santa display and like stops it. And they go into this restaurant, and essentially Bernie Mac blackmails them
Okay.
into cutting him in on the profits.
Okay. I
And
did
for-
not expect that.
No.
And for how much?
50%.
50. Okay.
That's bullshit. 15%.
Yeah. I mean,
50%. That's the whole
30.
scene. Yeah. Goes
It,
back
it,
and-
Oh, yeah.
it moves all the way up to like 49.5.
Oh my God.
Keep trying.
He just
wager
keeps
that.
saying half.
yeah.
Half.
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 Like it makes sense.
Classic.
Yeah.
Because he could get them in jail. Like he could probably,
Oh yeah.
you know, originally have asked for 80.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. And he gets to rifle through whatever merchandise they take and cherry pick,
Oh yeah.
which they
That's
also
part
don't
of it
like.
too.
mm-hmm.
It's not a very important part, but
Yeah.
I want to
It's
contribute.
And something I just remembered that we should mention now was actually the other thing I think the boy asked for when they first meet. He asked Santa for is like a pink elephant or some
Mhm.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
kind of important, not really, but it's fun. So so now they cut him in, and they're like, okay, I guess we got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a change of heart that happens,
Right.
that starts to happen.
Yeah. There's a long game thread.
Why?
Well, between Billy Bob and the boy, the relationship, like he starts to really care for the kid,
Okay.
and this kid has no friends or like anyone to stick up for him. So there's a point where he gets off the bus again, and then the teenagers like wedgie him
Right.
like
Sweet
terribly.
baby boy.
And so he comes to the mall to see Billy Bob with his like underwear like up his belly.
My sweet baby.
Remember the end of the Grinch, or like whatever version of the Grinch, where the townspeople are singing Davi Doris, even though he robbed them?
Who?
The Who's
The
down in
Who's.
Whoville in the
What
Grinch.
happens again?
Okay.
This is for
What's
another
Davy
episode, I think.
Dories? Wait, I know, but what's Davy Dories?
The
Oh, I
sing-
forgot
song
she
they
hasn't
sing.
seen it. Is the name of the podcast? Okay.
Oh, like at the very end.
At the very end,
His
Gotcha.
heart grows.
his heart goes three.
Okay, I thought you were talking about in the Grinch. Also very sad when he's little and gets made fun
Well,
of.
yeah, the Jim
Oh, that-
Carrey Grinch backstory.
I get so
yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
about that one too. I had a traumatic childhood and bullying.
Yeah, that 2000 movie really nurses the story to all hell, doesn't
oh
it?
yeah.
And has bare naked ladies in it for some reason. But yeah,
I'm
like
gonna watch it tonight.
I'd like to think of Thurman and their relationship as it evolves
Okay.
ends up being like the townspeople making his
Yeah.
heart grow. I mean, his almost non-existent heart because he's down and out doesn't give a F.
Oh yeah.
I guess, but I feel like okay. Here's the difference I'll point out in the Grinch is that the Grinch wanted acceptance from a young age, did not receive it. Therefore, that's where his hate came from. So in the end, when they actually do accept him, that I could understand why he's turning. This connection between the kid and I get it. Like, okay, maybe the kid's cute and he feels bad for him, but why does he feel bad for him if he doesn't give a shit about anything else? And yes, I'm going to pick holes in this bad Santa movie that's not meant to be thought of at a very plot intense whatever.
It does weave together a lot of complicated, complex
Yeah.
threads. There is a
Because he's
scene-
had a horrible childhood, Billy Bob Thornton, as he states over and over in the movie.
Okay.
Right. He said,
Right.
yeah, it starts off as pity, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
So I think there's probably a little bit of I see
Himself.
a bit of myself in this
Okay.
kid. I see a kid who doesn't have anyone to help, whereas Billy Bob as a kid would do it himself, but in a rough, terrible way. This
Okay.
kid is much more timid and needs help.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you.
And
Okay.
he initially has like an allergic reaction to the fact that he cares about the kid.
Yeah.
He gets angry about the fact that like when he hears that the kid's getting beaten, that he's
Mm,
not doing what he would do or what he wishes he could have done as a child.
sure.
But if we're not forgetting, there's a scene where Willie's woken up to the ecstatic screams of pain from the child
Oh,
who runs down the stairs with his hands bleeding, has this giant gash on his right arm or his left arm or his left
His hand,
hand,
yeah.
a hand and an arm are different things.
oh, and it's like bloody murder. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like Billy Bob's like, what the fuck, kid? And like he's wearing, I forget what he's wearing. He's wearing something like an apron or something, and he like
Yeah.
blood all over his chest. Like he like grabs this Billy Bob, and then he like rinses his hand out of water, and then he grabs a bottle of vodka to pour it over, to like neutralize it. And he's like, I was trying to help. I probably should have told you it stings a little,
Yeah.
because he runs away screaming.
And the
Uh-huh.
kid never says a word.
No, we don't know what happened. We
never
don't
know.
what- yeah,
He just goes, oh,
yeah.
Oh my god.
It's about the
That's
It's a
it.
long you sound
That's a good
scream.
sound, yeah. And
Yeah.
and we don't know why.
And it's really funny because it's kind of cute and funny the way he screams.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that he won't say.
Yeah,
anything.
why I cut my hand on accident.
Yeah.
And Billy was like, well, of
Weird.
course it's a fucking accident.
Right.
But
But there's a payoff to this.
yeah, there's a payoff to that.
Okay.
scene. So there's that. There's certain points though. There's a point where he gets so drunk that he's just like he's literally on the ground up the escalator. coming
Right.
Up, like Marcus is there like, oh, Santa's gonna be here any moment, kids. Like they're always waiting for him to get there.
Mm.
And then he like comes up on the escalator and is just like hammered drunk. Like this is like throughout the whole movie, it's so clear like he's just in a downward spiral mentally as well. Like he's just
Right.
getting so shittier and shittier about himself and his life and what he
Like
doesn't
an
want to be here anymore.
Inch away from suicide. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so he just starts attacking all the fake reindeer and like just smashing them.
Billy
Yeah.
Bob Thornton was drunk during that exact
No
scene.
way.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh my God.
I just read about it on
Wow.
the internet.
Like they did
Purposely
this
or
intentionally
because
or what?
he's has a problem. Or had a problem.
maybe
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying yes to all of the
yeah.
Maybe.
options.
Yes.
You're a Billy Bob expert in the room, so
Well, no, I Googled Bad Santa to see if I could find something interesting to say about it.
Interesting.
And the only thing I could find was that he was
He was
drunk on
actually
set
drunk.
during specific scenes
Uh-huh.
because it wasn't going to impact. It was just a shot of him or something like that.
So he's method. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
such garbage.
He's really, wow. What a
method.
what a Robert De Niro.
actors.
Yeah. So then, like, well, Marcus and his girlfriend like sit him down at the food court, like basically tear him a new one, and
Right.
just like yell at him.
Yeah. Giving the audience more exposition
Yeah.
as to what.
And this is where he says like something about like you can't go around fucking everyone. And he's like, I only fuck one person, and it's his girlfriend.
Nice. He's moved.
So he's very monogamous, you know.
Moved on.
And they walk away from him, and then this woman and her child like approach, and she's like, "Oh, there's Santa. Like, do you want to tell Santa what you want?" And Billy Bob just goes, "Well, my fucking break, lady."
Perfect.
Oh.
Which is great for trailer fodder.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
It's perfect, but it's also like you kind of that's like one of the only moments you're like, yeah, he is on his break. Why would you do that?
Right,
Exactly.
Right.
This small Santa eating his lunch break.
Right.
You do not bother them.
Right.
This is what they do all day.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's fair.
And why would a lady like, oh, are you excited to see this? Like she looks at the guy, thinks about her kid wanting to meet Santa, and looks at the guy who's not wearing the hat, the
Right.
beard, or he's not suited up fully.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she's like good.
That looks like a good
Yeah.
Santa for my
Yeah.
kid to meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Side story. My partner and I went into PetSmart the other day to look at the kitties whenever we see a PetSmart. And we were like going out, and we could see they did have like they had like a Santa Claus there for some reason. But this was clearly, it looked
It
like
was Ryan.
it was clearly, yeah, it was
Yeah,
right. It
right.
was Shoppers Drug Mart Santa. Clearly, some 17 or 18-year-old kid who was brought in to get it. So they got some sort of suit, but it was like skin tight Santa pants that only went just past the knee.
What?
So it was like Santa ankle, very like Santa.
What the hell?
Santa calf. Like
What?
I was like,
Was it a kid's costume?
It must have been, and because
the
it.
hell?
Yeah, we laughed so hard because it was like, this is the most ragged ass Santa I've ever seen.
I wonder if it was just like a regular employee that decided to dress up.
It
for
could have
Chris-
been. It
for
could
the
have been.
holiday season.
It probably was not a corporate
Right,
request,
right.
Because this Santa's pants did not fit. So
Right.
it
That's
was
so
fun.
weird.
All right, back to the movie.
Yeah.
So this is at his lowest because this is
Uh-huh.
where one of the darkest scenes in the
Right.
whole movie happens. I think
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about here.
Is it in the garage?
Yeah.
He does the garage suicide attempt with
In the
the
kid's house.
yeah.
Right. Great.
And according to the kid who walks up to talk to him, he's just sitting in the car
Uh-huh.
in the garage.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dialogue, but like,
Yeah. Well, to describe it, there's a tube going from the exhaust pipe into the window, the cracked window. With
We
the
all
windows
know
out.
how cars.
Yeah, just describe it if
garage
anyone
suicide
didn't
works.
realize. So, and it's so dark because this is again a comedy movie, but a little boy just walks in and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?"
yeah,
But he has a black eye,
Oh.
and like this,
My
Billy Bob's about to
baby.
kill himself, but is like, "How'd you get that black eye?" And then it literally just cuts to Billy Bob punching the shit out of the main teenager, who is in
Oh
fact
my
a teenager.
God.
He looks
He's
like
not
a
like an
young-
18-year-old. This
Yeah.
is like a 14-year-old kid.
Oh man.
he looks like Casper's Devon Sawa.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that kind of look.
Yeah. spiky hair
no.
the skateboard kid.
Yeah,
That's
skateboard kid. Yeah,
he kicks the shit out of skateboard kid.
Kicks the shit out.
Oh, no.
But I mean, something more needs to happen. Like he can beat them up now, but how is Thurman ever gonna
Yeah.
be able to defend himself when this is
Right.
clearly gonna happen again?
Right.
Yeah. And
And I think this moves towards one of the funniest scenes in a movie for physical comedy.
for physical, tell
The
me.
boxing ring. Okay, so Willie needs to teach this kid how to defend himself.
Oh
cute.
yeah,
Yeah.
And so he takes him to a boxing ring. They get geared up with gloves. And then we find that Marcus is there for some reason to help them out. Even though in the last scene that Marcus and Willie are in together, It's a lot of I hate you back and forth in various forms. But it's,
Is this an unrated extended cut? Maybe I feel
do.
I missed this scene.
I have Badder Santa on DVD. By the way.
I don't think this is in the regular cut. I think I watched the
But
regular
this
cut.
is, but the boxing ring scene is the one that I saw on the Movie Network.
Oh, is it
Canadian reference to
Well,
Maybe I missed it in my watching somehow. But
okay, well
you,
this,
you
Blanked.
describe it. This is new to me.
This
I
is-
feel like I missed it.
okay, because I love the scene. Like this is the scene that made me want to watch it again.
uh-huh.
So Marcus isn't happy to be involved, but he approaches the kid. Willie goes, "All right, get angry. Like he's about to beat you up." And the kid starts he's like, "All right, like be mean." Oh, all right, be mean, like really mean. And he screams and runs up to Marcus and kicks him in the nuts. And he
Nice.
tumbles over like a bowling pin. And he's like, "You can't punch someone in the nuts." And then he punches the kid in the nuts, and the kid tumbles over like a bowling pin in a really funny movie getting hit in the nuts way. And then one of them punches Willie in the nuts.
Just cause.
Yeah, I think there were 4 nut punches and
Oh
bowling
scene.
pin falls.
Wow.
God.
And the way they performed it was like
Perfect.
priceless. And it still makes
It's
me
the
laugh.
height of
I
physical
don't
comedy.
remember seeing this at
I
all.
don't remember it,
Yeah, that
but
seems
I
like
need to
something
go
you
back and
wouldn't
watch.
forget.
I feel like I need to go back and watch it.
Yeah,
because
that's
I don't know
odd.
what
So
I don't know what happened there.
you need to watch Badder
Badder
Santa.
Santa.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
With a
Batter
hyphen.
Santer. All right.
Santer.
Yeah.
Batter Santer.
So, okay, couple things. Here's the payoff. So there is another fuck me Santa scene. Well, not really fuck me Santa,
Yeah.
but they're in the throes of
Doing it.
foreplay,
Oh.
and the boy walks in,
God damn it.
and again, this woman is so it's like, oh hi boy, like it's
Yeah.
not even like
She thinks
"Oh,
he's
cover up."
sweet.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
sweet. Oh, this is a sweet setup you got here. Like, does she even know what's the story again? Does she even think there's a story? Or she just lives with these people.
I think she comes over.
Yeah, but like
Right.
does she know the situation, or does she think this is his like nephew or son or some shit?
Mm.
You know what? I don't,
I don't
know.
think she cares.
I don't.
I
Again,
don't-
yeah.
I don't think she cares.
No. Anyway, he's literally got like her panties in his mouth.
She knows he's gonna leave after the holidays. Like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
knows he's only in town.
It's a one-time
Uh-huh.
deal. Yeah,
Right.
he's got her panties in his mouth, and he's like, "Well, I made you a gift," and it's a wooden pickle.
Yeah. He's like, "Why is it brown?"
He's like, "It's not brown. It's blood from when I cut my hand making it for you." Oh, that's so sweet.
So through all of this,
And then Billy Bob's like there's total silence. He's like, "Oh, thanks, I guess." Like he
Yeah.
doesn't know what to say about
What
this
the hell?
just wooden pickle. that he
yeah,
made.
what the hell?
It's just with a bow covered in blood.
right. And it doesn't matter when this happens, but this echoes the earlier conversation of him wanting to get out of the racket by saying, "I think I've found a purpose, like a
Hmm.
reason to do something better with my life."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he prefaces that with like, "I just beat the shit out of some teenagers. I think I have a better purpose than this."
Oh my God.
So
Yeah,
that,
Dark
he wants
that's
to
what
help.
it was.
He's like, maybe I do want to help people. He doesn't
Right.
want to
Right.
kill himself. He wants to help people like the little boy.
There's a
Right.
spark.
Which
Yeah.
the thing is, so Todd, you've been saying the name, but this is actually a funny reveal, is that there's a point where like the boy comes in and he like gives Billy Bob his like report card.
Oh, right.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like, I
okay.
thought maybe, you'd want to see my report card to
Oh.
show that I'm good. Did I do good? And it's all
Oh.
like C's with a couple D's on there.
Baby
Yeah.
And
boy.
we see the report card in the name. And this is where it's revealed his name is Thurman Merman.
Oh.
Right.
And so Billy was like, "Your name's Thurman Merman?" And he's like, "Jesus Christ." Like this kid does not have any.
boy.
See, for anyone
Any
else
points.
who haven't seen it, this is the payoff for how I fucked up earlier by saying his
Yeah.
name.
His name's Thurman Merman. So
His name's Thurman Merman.
Such a sweet baby.
he's a sweet babe.
Yeah.
And this is kind of an emotional hype between them, because he's like, "Yeah, well, I guess I didn't do good because I'm a stupid idiot or something." I don't know. He talks bad about himself,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then Billy Bob's just like, "What the fuck? Why are you talking about yourself like that?" He gets super angry,
Mhm.
and then he's like, "Newsflash, kid, I'm not Santa Claus. Like, I'm not Santa Claus isn't fucking real. I'm not Santa Claus. You got to do things yourself. And the kid's like, he's basically just like, well, I know you're not Santa Claus, but I thought maybe
You'd give me a birthday
you'd
present or
give me a birthday
a Christmas present.
Christmas present because we're friends or something.
Aw,
And that line right there.
Yeah.
that got him.
Yeah. He's like, friend? No. But he is. It's an emotional high for the movie.
Well, that clarifies that the kid cares for him because he
Uh-huh.
cares for him,
Yeah.
and not because the whole time we thought only because he thought he was Santa.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which means Willie's confronted with the fact that someone actually gives a shit about him,
Yeah.
Right.
even if he doesn't know what's what. You know, this kid who doesn't know much else knows that he at least cares for Willie.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, that's the clincher on Willie has a reason to live now.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Fine.
So we're at the sort of climax, the final act of the movie, which is Christmas Eve night.
Ah, yes.
And
That's
the big-
right.
They need
Yeah.
to make the heist.
Yeah.
And so they first we see this scene with Marcus and his girlfriend who are they're like stalled in their van near the mall, I guess, or near where they're supposed to be.
Somewhere that where
Yeah.
the security detective guy.
Yeah, well, I think
Right.
they phoned him to get. Yeah, they're like,
Right.
they phoned Bernie Mac to help
Oh.
to like jumpstart their van because it's the night of the heist and they need to do it.
completely harmless.
Yeah, completely harmless. And so Bernie Mac pulls over. They do the whole thing. He's jump starting. Bernie Mac is standing in front of like his car with the cables, and then to the van. He's in the between the two cars, and then Marcus like signals to his girlfriend, wife, whoever, and she like puts it in gear and like rams into Bernie Mac. They kill him. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They do it even worse. They're like they drag him under the back wheel, and then she like backs over him.
Yeah. But even like the initial hit.
Not
The initial hit would've done it.
expect that.
Yeah,
No.
that was like probably
They
for me the
really-
darkest
Oh,
part.
That is a pretty dark part too, especially when he like pulls him around and then puts his head under the back wheel. You're like, Jesus Christ.
That's a pretty intense decision to make too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, robbery,
for
okay,
robbery, yeah.
but like murdering someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they're in it now.
They don't give a fuck.
Even like the initial
So-
hit with the sound effects and the blood out the mouth where he also drops his stogie that he always has.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
did
it
not
is pretty dark.
expect
I
that.
still think the suicide scene is dark. But
No, you're right.
but
You're
it's
right.
more, but it's dark and played for like a dark comedy way. This is just straight up dark. They're murdering the dude.
Right.
Whereas the
Uh-huh.
other scene is like dark but it's funny. The boy comes in and then it's immediately cut to my will to live is to punch the shit out of teenagers.
Uh-huh.
But,
Right.
But yeah, it is pretty dark.
I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Damn.
So night of the robbery, we do have a scene where the mall shutting down, security's getting everyone to leave.
Yeah.
The girlfriend pushes this like table of clothes, like just pushes it randomly and like inconspicuously before she leaves,
Okay.
because Marcus like goes up in the vents as everyone closes out.
Ah.
Billy leaves because the whole idea is the security guard puts in the code and then Marcus like drops down, like gets to the security panel and stops it before it arms because it's like a 10-second delay. Or
Wow.
whatever. As if this mall doesn't have any overnight security, but
Right.
we're
Right.
going to ignore these facts.
Right. It's fine.
Yeah. So then they're in the mall
Okay.
and then we find out the safe.
Wait, but okay. Sorry, pause real quick. So Billy Bob Thornton is with them at this time in the mall with them.
Well, he leaves the mall because the whole idea is that because Marcus is little, he can hide. So in the very opening scene,
Okay.
Marcus is actually dressed up as like a little snowman in
Yeah.
a display when they close down the mall, and then he runs to like open the door.
Right.
So,
So he's
this
gonna
time he goes up in the vents and waits till the mall's
right,
closed.
and he's
Yeah.
gonna open the door for Billy Bob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is he there? Does he actually go to?
Yeah.
Oh.
He does the deal. He does the
Okay.
deed. And they get to the safe, and we found out he finds out the safe is like, I forget what they call it, but some guy he knew in the joint because he was in prison, obviously.
Yeah.
Told him this is the one safe that can't be cracked. sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah. His
But his
one
skills.
I mean, the one purpose for Marcus to have him around is sort of in the balance because he he can do it as he promises,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Uh-huh.
Also, he does a bump of cocaine before they go in this time too.
Oh, does he?
Dope.
Because
totally does.
he's totally out of his gourd drunk,
Yeah.
and to get himself in the game for the robbery,
Wow.
he hits something a little harder and
That's
more
how you
energetic.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cocaine for the robbery.
Ah.
And so, so he does end up cracking it as Marcus is going around getting all the,
Yeah.
in funny ways, because Marcus is a low person, he can't reach things. So he's got to like cut down the legs of this mannequin to get this
Uh-huh.
like, fur scarf.
Okay.
Also frustrating Marcus too, as expressed in one of their many arguments, is he's already been slowing down over time and becoming
Yeah.
less reliable.
Who, Marcus?
No, Billy
Billy
Bob.
Uh-huh.
Bob Thornton. Like so there's problems between them as
Right.
as a duo
Yeah.
Right.
in this. And given the fact that like Marcus cares so much about this venture, this is going to create problems that.
Right.
But anyway, back in the robbery.
Yeah. So he does crack the safe. It takes him a lot. He's all sweaty and it took a long time. They get the safe open and Marcus starts like piling the money in, but Billy Bob's like, I got to go find something. So he goes to the mall.
I know what it's good.
And when he goes up and he finds the display of, he finds a display of pink and purple elephants.
Mm.
And he's like, fuck, what did he want again? He's trying to figure out which elephant Thurman wanted. And he grabs the pink one or the purple one. I feel like he grabs the purple one because it's the wrong color, because it was pink that
So
Thurman
he
wanted.
d-
But
he grabs the
I
wrong
think
color.
he grabs the purple. It doesn't really matter. He grabs an
Yeah.
elephant for Thurman.
Right.
And then he turns around and Marcus has a gun
Uh-huh.
drawn.
Knew it. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where
And
the
he
three
shoots
Bs
him
come
and
up.
he's dead.
This is where the 3 Bs comes up.
The end.
Yeah.
Marcus is like, it's just like, it's like we're tired of all the booze and the booze and the bullshit, the booze, the bullshitting, and the butt fucking.
Yeah.
And then Billy Bob goes, the 3 Bs, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's a standoff. It's a standoff. He's like, come on, Marcus, plug him. I didn't say that in any accent at all. She's Norwegian. But it's a standoff. He doesn't shoot him because he doesn't get a chance to, because their little 3-person dialogue is interrupted by a whole team
Ah.
Yeah.
of cops. Because
Okay.
Because I don't know, actually.
okay,
Oh.
there's a scene. It might be the garage scene where he gives Thurman a letter
Oh, yes.
that was supposed to.
Yeah. So before the night, Thurman, Billy Bob gives a letter to Thurman, right? Yeah.
dialogue
Sure.
or describing all the bad shit he's done.
Oh, describing all the bad
Okay.
shit he's done. Yeah. Oh, and it is in the garage scene. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
it in the
Okay.
garage scene. And so I guess Thurman took the letter to the cops, or
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Huh.
because it was like, you bring this to the cops if I die or something, but Thurman just brought it to the cops in general.
Aw.
And
Right.
so the cops
Okay.
surround the place, a whole fucking SWAT team for petty thieves. I don't know if they would actually send that many people,
Sure.
but to protect capital, it might, maybe, yeah.
Right.
And so there's like a shootout, like cops are shooting shotguns at these guys
Yeah.
running away.
Oh, calamity ensues.
Oh, yeah.
And what I love about the calamity in this scene, in this particular movie, is that it's to the tune of a Chopin nocturne, like a very slow, slow piano,
Yeah.
like bedtime lullaby type
What the
melody.
heck?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's part of like the dark brush stroking.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they do with like, ooh, like the juxtaposition of the
Right.
music and the situation sort of thing. But and so he it doesn't really get away, but he gets to his car, Billy
Right.
Bob, he drives away. He's literally essentially he's got the pink elephant and he's driving
Right.
to Thurman's house, and he gets out of the car and he's running up towards the house, and the cops shoot him 9 times in the
Oh.
back,
Wow.
and he falls with pink elephant because all he wants to do is just get this pink elephant
Yeah.
to Thurman
He's like, I don't give a shit, but I'm getting this kid his fucking elf.
Yeah.
Right.
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I'm getting him the
Sweet.
present, and so he gets shot 9 times. And you're like, movie done, he's dead.
Right.
and it essentially, and then it's kind of like flashes forward a bit, like it fades, like we see Billy Bob dead on the ground, the camera rises, and it kind of fades back into like the house with Thurman.
Yeah.
And we hear a voiceover. Billy Bob is in prison. He's doing well. They took the seven bullets, I believe it was, out of his back.
Yeah, all of the people that witnessed an unarmed Santa being shot was a bad press story for the cops. So they were going to defund the police on him unless they treated him really well.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's being treated really well. Has
Yeah.
the deluxe experience of jail
Wow.
in this like voiceover. And in the meantime, because his dad's in prison, they've essentially like his new guardian is the woman, the bar woman,
Oh
Lorelai.
my god. So
They live in the house
okay.
together. She like he sends him like, I think he sends him like a t-shirt as a gift. Because he like brings,
Thurman sends him his t-shirt.
no, Billy Bob sends Thurman a t-shirt.
Okay.
He walks out and Lorelai's like, I keep calling her Lorelai, but that's
Yeah.
what she is to me.
That's what she
Cleaning
is.
the pool.
I call her Fuck Me Santa.
Yeah, fuck me Santa. Yeah, she's fuck me Santa. She's cleaning the pool or the hot tub or whatever, and like, helps him put on the shirt,
Okay.
gives him a kiss on the cheek.
Because she loves kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
she said she loves
Oh,
kids, so this
great.
is like the perfect situation for
Great.
her. Like prison
Randomly
Santa in
taking
jail.
over this random
yeah,
boy.
this boy. Yeah.
Great.
And what does the T-shirt say again? It says,
I
me
forget.
"Shit happens," but it says something like "shit happens," but something.
Great.
We'll find that. We should figure out what that.
You want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, this is like any other time
Yeah,
where
is this the very end
where-
too? We're like, this is the end
No,
thing.
I just felt like
supposed to know.
is this like other times where guys keep describing a movie to a woman who doesn't want to see it long after she says she doesn't want to see it. Because that I've heard that happens occasionally.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it never happened to you.
This is what I volunteer to hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
No, it's cool
What are
here.
you talking about?
Yeah, no, I just mean on the internet. I hear.
Oh, is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, you have like it's not just guys describing movies,
but
on the
anyone
podcast,
describing
right?
a movie.
The T-shirt says "shit
Mansplaining
happens
Bad
when you
Santa.
party
Oh, gotcha,
naked."
Shit happens when you party naked.
Yeah,
Nice.
So
that's
it's
the
not
T-shirt he
shit
said.
happens, but it's
No,
just
shit happens when you party naked, and then
is the kid.
Thurman comes out to the main step because this must be. I get it's then revealed. Yeah, it's the kid.
This is him.
yeah,
right?
That's some really nice curly hair.
Cute.
oh yeah,
My boy.
But he comes
Sweetie
out
boy.
and he has like a bucket and a sponge, and he's cleaning the blood off the front like step of
Yeah.
the house
Aw,
from Billy Bob.
cute.
And he has his bicycle there, and then young Devon Sawa comes up to him again and says, "Hey, your buddy's not here to protect you anymore."
He kicks him in the nuts.
He kicks him in the nuts.
Kicks him in the nuts.
You guessed it, and she gets a prize for
Yes.
right when she guesses the
Yeah, she gets a
Oh, I
prize.
The boogers are a little gross,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
the kid's very cute. Oh, sweet baby boy.
Yeah.
Now in 2016, he reprises the role by putting on weight and growing the afro out again.
Really?
Yeah, for Bad Santa 2.
What
Did he
I-
actually put on weight?
I think he put on weight to play him again and sort of fill out the frame.
Aw,
okay.
sweetie boy. This is him in the other one?
Yeah, Bad Santa 2. I have the uncut version,
Ooh, the uncut version.
which if you
Viewing
just,
party.
but here's sort of what boggles my mind is like the whole system where like an executive or producer is just like, what was the most important thing in that movie? Oh, the raunch for sure. Like the swearing and the not giving a fuck and the
Yeah.
fucking and the drinking.
Right.
So we'll make a whole bunch of movies that have only that, but they completely ignore the fact that for me, I think Bad Santa has more layers to it. And
Oh.
Yeah.
it doesn't make it Citizen Kane, but it's certainly not American Pie.
Yeah,
It's-
there's a bit
Haven't
more of
seen
a
either of
deeper,
those.
like emotional arc and like darker themes, right? So
Right.
is Bad Santa 2 just more like let's say fuck and have sex a lot more than let's
Right.
learn
Is
the
it?
value of life?
That's what he's
It's raunch for the sake of raunch
Uh-huh.
and just repeating, I think it's like, let's get the band together for another concert, but it
Right.
wasn't like, let's do something different and special. But
Right.
I mean, how
That's-
could you possibly with Bad Santa though?
I
Do
guess,
something
yeah. I
special.
feel like they should have probably just left it at the one. Haven't
Yeah.
seen either, but it
probably should've
sounds
just
like
Died.
Oh.
One of the main
mean-
differences too is Christina Hendricks from Mad Men
Uh-huh.
is the love interest in this one
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
Lorelai did not come back.
oh
Yeah.
darn.
because there's only so much times you can tolerate getting puked on or something like that. He gives the exposition of
Ah.
Oh really?
Why?
Why that?
Of why
character?
there's
Yeah.
a switch. Damn.
Nice.
instead of Hollywood maybe
So he
just
didn't,
say
like, clean
that
up
the
his
actress
act at
isn't
all.
young and looking
He's
it up
just-
anymore.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's bad.
What
Santa.
an adventure. A
Yeah.
lot of things I did not expect.
No, I
Not
know.
gonna lie. Couldn't have guessed that. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
But it's another story about a mall Santa.
Yeah, no, it is. So this actually tied
It
in.
did.
Did you plan that?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
No, because
job.
the guests picked the movies.
No,
so
you're
I
right.
didn't plan
Sometimes
it.
this happens. Well done.
I did not make that connection though while I was watching them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very opposite movies.
Yeah.
What if they were made, what if the remake of Miracle was Billy Bob Thornton and
Right.
similar storylines,
Oh
but then
my
also
God.
he says terrible shit and has sex a lot.
Well, I kind of like I like that the actor plays Santa in the remake of Miracle was the Welcome to Jurassic
Oh,
Park guy.
He is.
You guys are losing me with these references. What are you
we have to
Yeah.
do. We have to cover Jurassic
What
Park
are you
someday.
saying?
Someday we will.
Remember Captain EO with Michael Jackson?
No. Stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. What did you think of the movie?
Yeah, no, it sounds very like again, I don't care for much of that like raunch aspect of it at
Right.
all. But the actual story of this character development, okay, fine. Like I feel like it'd probably be endearing to watch. And the whole heist aspect is really quite like obviously action is fun to watch.
Mhm.
So it seems like it might be fun to watch again. I don't care for raunchy things. So I'm
Yeah.
on the fence as to whether or not I would watch it. I will have to at some point.
Yeah, you will.
Right.
At
But
some point.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's one of those movies that it's like, maybe if I watch it, I could complain about something, but like, I don't know that I would complain much about anything. It's one of those
Yeah.
movies you watch to have fun and it will fulfill its purpose to that respect. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, in this situation, you happen to get some decent like character arc and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say it does good at doing dumb. It does good at doing deep.
Huh.
It has exquisite moments in it, but I also feel like they've made better movies since. They've told better
Sure.
stories since. So I'm not going to go out there and say it's a great movie.
Right.
I'd say I have great memories of it. I think it has great stuff. But yeah, like I'm also not going to, like, if you come back on this podcast and talk about what you think about the movie,
and I say it was garbage.
then
You
I
won't
don't
be
have to.
offended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not going to go to bat for this movie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, how many
Can't wait.
bloody wooden pickles do you give this
Oh.
movie?
What a fun one. What a weird thing to get. Like, there's no mention of pickles in the movie at all
Right.
before. Yeah, I mean, like, how did he like? Did it look like a pickle too? Like, it looked actually like a pickle.
It just was a cylindrical,
Yeah.
rounded edge wooden piece of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I mean, oh, okay. So I would say, okay, here's my. This isn't going to make any sense, but if any of you have ever had Chicago 58 pickles, they're the best pickles I've ever had in my life. 10 out of 10 recommend. That all being said, I would fill a Chicago 58 jar with bloody wooden pickles for this movie. You guys need to Google it. They're the best pickles ever.
Great. That's a good.
I
It's a
think
good
it's
rating,
fine. I
yeah.
know, like, you know what? These ratings are hard to do because there's no threshold of where it starts and ends. And I just have to pull something out of my butthole.
That's
So,
the point. That's the point.
Like
So-
wooden pickles.
like, wooden fucking pickles. Don't have those in there.
yeah.
But that's fine. So that's what I would say. And pick up Chicago 58 pickles. They're like the best pickle you could ever have.
Yeah.
I stand by.
Yeah, that's on top of our Shoppers Drug Mart
I wish.
Right.
You guys don't get it.
sponsorship.
Yeah.
What would you think of this movie, Zach?
I don't think so. I
Oh,
don't think so.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
Wow, I
I'm
guess
You didn't like
conflicted.
it.
He's pretty
Yeah.
on point normally.
No,
so
yeah.
he is not sure about this movie.
No, no.
and I want him to
Doesn't
like me,
watch
so I'll change my
Uh-huh.
mind on whatever I had to say about the movie that was good.
It, yeah,
He's a hard person to please, that Zach.
sure.
I mean, I know you're watching, so
I know you're watching.
If he was watching and not actually on it, I would be upset.
I'd be so mad at him. I'm busy, guys. I can't come. And he's on the freaking stream. Jerk.
Yeah. Well, Todd, thank you for coming out tonight.
Yes.
I hope I didn't suck. That's all I've been thinking the whole
Oh
time.
my gosh,
not
stop
at
it.
all.
I feel like all of the guests have that feeling because we do this intentionally. We put all the pressure on the guests.
That's
so
true,
we
yeah.
Don't have to worry.
It's literally, and every episode is a new experience because all the content is based on
Yeah.
our guests.
Yeah. That's what makes it great.
But
Yeah.
that's the goal, right? To be live. Because
Yeah.
with my podcast, I can edit. I do takes.
Uh-huh.
If I'm doing like an intro or something
No,
like
no.
that. You're just
We're not that good.
no. Like to be live is good. That's the best kind of moments.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I cater my face.
Sometimes I'll make some edits, but you know what? Editing's for chumps.
Whoa.
We're
Excuse me?
live, baby.
He's right
I just won a
here.
Freaky Award for editing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The highly prestigious Freaky Frequency 101 Awards. By the way, that was last night
Ooh.
for anyone
Yeet, yeet.
watching live.
Well, tell us where people
Yeah.
can find your
Tell
stuff.
us where we can find you, Todd.
I'm on social media. I just used the one though. Well, I read Goodreads. I do Goodreads if you have an inkling for that. Anyway, Instagram. That's all you need to know. At Todd Donald. Todd has 2 D's, so it's TODDDONALD.
Yeet.
And you could follow at Channel 101 Official because I do shit on there too. I do a podcast. That's what
Yeah.
they're called.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
changed it.
Podcast.
They changed it like just
Yeah,
last
yeah,
Tuesday,
the
right?
NPR,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do a podcast called Prime Time Flies, in which I chat with people, like campfire conversations
Yeah.
about themselves who do stuff for 101 and are in the biz now. And it's fun. It's for Channel 101. And I mean, there's nonstop great stuff coming out of that. So, you know,
Awesome.
Yeah,
you.
baby.
Oh, and I guess if you want to follow us, you can follow us on
You should
Facebook and
already be
Instagram.
following
Haven't seen a
us.
podcast, and Twitter. Haven't seen it. Haven't
No,
underscore
haven't
seen
underscore seen.
it on Twitter, and haven't seen a podcast.com where you can find the big stop. I swear to God, Alenka. You can find the big list of movies that Alenka's never seen,
No.
and all the movies she has seen now with our mid-month.
right.
movie
Why
review.
would you,
What's happening?
why would you
My
do the
hair.
list of movies she hasn't seen when there's like a million movies? If you were to flesh out that list all
Well,
the way.
because it's
Huh?
because
Huh?
because people can be flabbergasted, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's for the it's
Yeah.
for the wow factor.
It's also for the guests so that we can just send them to the website and say pick
Makes
a
our
movie.
lives
It's
easier.
not linked.
People want to know how
Right.
little content I
Exactly.
observe.
And and we're also on YouTube and Twitch. You can check out our live streams, what's happening literally right now. So if you're listening to this later, get on that live stream binge. We do it generally every second Sunday of the month, but we
Yeah.
make the announcement, nearing the beginning of the month. We'll make the announcement for the
Will
that
makes
month's
the
live
announcement.
stream.
Yeah.
And thanks for being here, Todd.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Had a wonderful
Honored.
time.
Honored. Big
Oh,
fan.
Stop it. Yeah, and I mean, on that note, you guys, this is the end of the live stream. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to it afterwards, that's fine.
Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays. What is it?
I stepped on your hay. I'm sorry.
Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Season's greetings.
Season's greetings.
Friendship.
Happy
That's-
Hanukkah.
Those are most of them.
Merry Christmas.
Kwanzaa.
Christmas Kwanzaa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
Happy time with family.
And a great
And
new
food.
year. See you in the
Oh,
new
yeah.
year,
Yeah.
boy.
See you there, babies.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.